Okay.
We are. Hello, everybody. March 14th, 2023. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Brett, not here. Dan, yeah, you are here. BB?
Here.
Angie?
Here.
Let the record show Brett's missing. Okay. Hey, comments from the community for items not on the agenda. John and Sarah Wolgast would like to discuss living and crop from a winery.
We would.
Is it SARAH? Is it with the?
SARAH, yes.
So hopefully it's okay. I wrote a letter. Basically, me and Sarah kind of put our thoughts together and we put it all on paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and read what we wanted to make you aware of.
And then will we have a copy of that at the end or not?
Yep, you can have this.
You definitely.
Okay.
All right. My name is John Wolgast. My wife Sarah, myself, and our 3 children live at 2390 Arlington Road, Columbus Township. Purchased this home in 1996, and until a couple years ago, I was a very happy resident of this community. This is my first home purchase. I originally bought this home with the intentions of doing some updates and moving on, but fell in love with the street in the area and decided to stay. Unfortunately, this all changed drastically as of a couple years ago. We were approached by the couple that had moved across the street, Rob and Hannah Cowan, with a petition asking for signatures so that they could add a small building for people to be able to stop to pick up a bottle of wine occasionally. We were told that we, quote unquote, wouldn't even know it was there. Sarah and I agreed to sign after Rob and Hannah explained their very small scale intentions. Unfortunately, this is not completely truthful. We now have a full-blown commercial business selling liquor as well as wine, and patrons constantly filling the parking lot that was put in directly across the street from our home. We have given this time for us to try to adjust to our new living conditions, but we just cannot. There are so many issues of living across the street from this business that it's made it almost unbearable. We no longer have any privacy that we once had due to people standing and smoking in the parking lot directly across the street and staring at everything we do when we are outside in our yard. I feel I can no longer leave garage doors open due to people standing across the street and peering into my belongings. We do not like leaving our front blinds open due to the lack of privacy and car headlights. We don't feel safe with our younger children due to having what is essentially a bar across the street. The headlights from the vehicles coming and going from the parking lot shining through our windows is extremely annoying. Cars constantly turning around in our driveway after they pass up the entrance to the winery, or the ones that have sat in our driveway waiting for other cars to leave the winery driveway so that they can pull in, is also very frustrating. Not to mention the extra wear and tear on our road has resulted in potholes this spring that are destroying our vehicles, much worse than I can remember in years past. I have stopped talking to Mr. Cowan about anything due to him constantly threatening legal action against anyone that is a threat to him or his business. Sarah and I are at a breaking point and have contemplated selling our home. But this brings up another huge issue. How much has our home depreciated in value due to having what amounts to a bar directly across the street from our home? How many people would choose to move to a country setting to deal with all the headaches of living across the street from a commercial winery? How much home value has this cost us? I do not know how this is allowed to grow to the point that it has, but I do know that this is something that we did not, nor would we have ever agreed to. Thank you for your time, John and Sarah, well dismissed.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You guys want a copy of this?
You don't want this back, right?
Oh, I have originals in
Okay.
2 different
Yeah,
places,
fine.
so
Thank
we're
you.
good.
Set?
I appreciate you coming in and talking to us about it. We are putting our efforts forth in the direction of dealing with that.
We just don't understand, like I said, we were approached with a certain thing in mind.
Right.
And we envisioned a stand, a produce type stand, where people were coming to buy a bottle of wine and go home, not 20 cars sometimes, almost. I mean, I've counted up to 14, 15 cars in that parking lot at one time. There's
Right.
tons of people that hang out there and they're coming and going
Right.
constantly. It's a commercial operation. It's not a produce stand, and I don't know how that. can
I'm
fit
sure-
in with the
I'm sure
community.
everyone on this board would agree with you that none of us envisioned that in the first place. We were thinking along the same lines that you're thinking.
And that's how we were approached. We were.
That's
approached
how
with
we were
that same
approached.
thing. It was, we were told, oh, it's just gonna be in the corner behind the woods. You'll never see it. You never know it's there. We know it's there. And like John's saying, like with our kids, we have kids too that have disabilities at our home too. And for somebody to be just randomly sitting in our parking lot, it's gonna scare my kids, because who knows who they are, where they're sitting there.
We have between 3 children, we have 2 with autism and 1 with ADHD severe.
Yeah.
And our dogs, we have 3 indoor dogs that go ballistic. Every time we have these cars pulling in our driveway, sitting in our driveway, dogs are going nuts. The kids are running to the windows, wondering what's going on.
Right.
And then we see them back out and go back down and turn into their driveway all the time. When they're leaving at night, I mean, it's dark when people are leaving there, the headlights, we are directly across the street from that parking lot. And when they're pulling out of there, we get all the lights right through our windows. The whole front of our house is glass. We get all the headlights. So again, we got the headlights coming through the windows, dogs are going crazy all the time.
Because they're thinking somebody's, they're doing what dogs do, right? They're thinking somebody's coming in the driveway. It's across the street, so.
Just a lot of issues. And then I've never seen that road that tore up before at the very least,
Can't take a phone call.
Yeah, that's where we were hesitant to come and say anything just because we are directly across the street. We don't want to start anything, but at the same time saying nothing. It's not a good
this is,
idea
oh,
either.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
No, I think you're doing the right thing, and we're going to try our best to address all those issues.
I just want to say thank you for speaking up. I live on Arlington Road as well. And I'll be writing a letter to them about how the operation needs to go away.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, I live a little bit down Arlington Road. I do not like it for kids outside.
Yeah.
I don't think seeing a porta potty out there, it does nothing for our road. We moved out here to live in the country.
Right. And actually, when we were leaving our house today, I did bring up, when we were pulling out, I said, and that's another thing, look at the porta john in the front yard over there, but I didn't want to put that left. That's just, it is what it is. But as far as the eyesore of what's over there, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree.
And I agree with her about the kids. Just like us, in the summertime, we have our kids playing in the yard.
And that
It's a
opens,
business. You don't know.
and it's a business with alcohol. Our kids ride their bikes up and down the street all the time, and there's piles of side by sides that pull in there all summer long, and they sit there for hours over there sometimes, and they go hauling out of there.
Yeah.
We're worried about our kids riding the bikes, it's a twisty road, and we worry about everything,
Yeah.
especially
With-
that,
with the guys.
people drinking over there, and then they're driving up and down our road, and our kids are out. And
I'm afraid for them to ride their bike down the road, you know what I mean?
All right, well,
I'm concerned.
we're gonna do our best to address all those issues and we will get a resolution to the situation.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I just think it's sad that more people on Arlington Road will not come forward because they are afraid of retaliation from him.
Well, and that's what I've been hearing too. I guess I can only suggest that they might anonymously send something, at least explain the situation, even if they don't want to come forward with who they are. Explain what, you know, what their fear is and what their complaint is.
With the new letter that went out, will they be getting fined $500 a day here shortly, or how's that going to work?
You know, I can't speak for the attorney. I'm letting him take the lead on it. We didn't have an attorney for a time. And so that's why it's taken a while to address this, but once we enlisted a township attorney, we got right on it and sent him all the information we had on it. And I just can't speak for him or how he's gonna deal with it.
Okay.
Anybody else that would like to speak? Okay, seeing none, we'll be moving on. All right, so need a motion to open a public hearing on the 23-24 fiscal budget.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your time.
All in favor of opening the public hearing? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Anybody in the audience have any questions about the proposed budget for this year? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to close the public hearing on the budget. Public hearing. Is there support? I'll support. All in favor of closing the public hearing? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Approval of the agenda.
Communication.
Oh, there is no communication. Nothing separate anyhow that. Okay. Now approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll support. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Approval of minutes from the February 14th meeting.
I have one section here that I know you've changed some of this, and when I had written out the whole thing from last month about the people who came from the winery, after I reread this, I feel like some of this is a little, this is how I want it to say.
What part?
The
Comments from the
comment from the
community?
community.
Go ahead.
Larry, Ray, Kyle, Debbie showed up with Jamie and Brandon on Zoom, and 2 read prepared statements, because that was only 2. They said that Colin had shared his story with and his violation letter from the township attorney, and some of them said they were frequent patrons and they were in support of the Rock Winery. They all said Collins were nice people and felt the township didn't want that part I wanted to leave in. I just don't think that we should put in there all patrons, because not all of them said they were patrons, and I don't think we should put her name in there because we don't normally say Diane was in the audience.
But she, I mean, they all came
Well,
together.
they did, but I mean, we don't normally say, okay, well, gas came and Diane Christie was there or
Okay,
something.
so you
I
wanna
just-
leave out,
I wanna leave her
you
name.
wanna leave out along with
Yeah,
Hannah Cowan.
Hannah in person, and then,
All right, so in person needs to stay because them's
oh,
came in
okay,
person.
right, all right.
And then the other two came on Zoom.
Okay, and but yeah, Jamie and Brandon on Zoom. And then I want to skip that at the behest of Rob and Hannah, because we don't know that, we know, but we don't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we know that, but they didn't say that, they came because of
Okay.
that. I just don't want to put something in there that they're gonna say, we never said that. And then.
Okay, well, I'll scratch it out if you wish, but if you come with a group of people and sit down with them and go, here, whenever they say
I understand
something.
that, if,
They obviously came together and obviously to support her.
okay, well, and then if.
But I
you-
think that should only be if it was said during the meeting, like, we are all together in, you know what
No,
I
and
mean?
that's
You know
fine,
what
I'll
I mean?
scratch it
It's
out.
not a,
But it was pretty obvious.
It was.
I understand, yes, I do
You both
understand that,
Understand that,
All right.
you
so-
know, but we have to be stating
All
the
right, so we'll get rid of
facts, I
at the
guess.
behest of them,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then.
and then you write,
Instead
and
of most,
two,
two.
you
because
wanna say
of them-
two
Yeah, two red
red
prepared.
prepared statements.
And then they said that Cowan had shared his story.
They said that Rob Cowan, right?
Mhm.
So not sitting down with wine.
Yeah,
Oh, so what?
I don't
What?
want to put had
Forget
sat down with them over wine
Oh.
because we,
Well, they did say that.
And not every single one of them.
Well, not everyone.
You
said
know,
that.
so it's
Okay.
kind of hard to do a group,
yeah,
You
we're
know.
kind of trying to be generic. because
All right,
you said
so-
you-
yeah.
So they said that Rob Cowan shared his story and his violation letter.
And then some of them said
Some
they were
said,
frequent, and that was the only thing.
that they were, all right. You good with them changes?
Yeah, it's just you're changing rather than most to two.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then,
From they to saying some. And then they said that instead of he, they put Rob Cowan
Okay.
there, and then all the way up to shared his story in violation of it. You good with that? All right, motion. Oh, I'm sorry. Are there any other changes anyone would like to make?
You? You're good.
that was the only one I had.
That's all you got. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes with the changes.
I'll support.
Do that.
Yes.
Christie, yes. Duncan,
Yes.
Berenger,
No.
all right. And let's talk treasurer report. So you want to talk the budget amendments right here?
During check register, do we do that? One is like done, you know, but usually we talk about during check register.
Okay. So these are all,
Unless you want to talk about, I mean, I don't care.
these are all budget amendments. I just
Right.
thought we.
Right? I mean, we could do it
Right
now. We could do it right now because we're not paying really any bills. It's kind of just cleaning it up.
Cause we agreed to pay all these bills last.
Exactly. So you're right. It's not like we're paying any bills and adding to the check register
We're not
or
adding
anything.
any different bills to pay.
No.
So everything's on this check register.
Except,
The March border review.
yeah, I did have that
She
in.
put that
beginning
note
of
in
that.
there because they need to get paid within this fiscal year.
Yeah, I was gonna wait till the next payroll, but Phoebe brought up the fact that
Because we
we
budget for it.
budgeted for them for this month. Because otherwise then we're gonna be over budget in 23-24.
Or if we do it, we just need to keep
No,
in
but
mind.
Next year's March would get paid in April.
Oh, right, you're right,
Every year's March
you're
would get
right,
paid
so
in
we
April.
could wait.
So did we do that?
No, last year we paid it right after board of review, but
Okay.
I'm okay.
No,
with
you're
it.
right. Our budget is okay. I think I just assumed because I remember we did that last year, but no, looking at it right now, we're
If
okay.
we want to leave it like that and I'll pay.
Let's leave it and just
April,
keep it
yeah,
consistent of how we do it
I'm
though.
all about leaving it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm good with that too.
That works with
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
Because Phoebe thought it would mess up the budget, so.
So
Nope, and it
discuss
didn't.
the
That
rest
was
of
wrong.
it.
Okay, the rest of the budget amendments. Okay, so the one we approved, let me find it. Okay, the one was approved, the one that says approved on it. Okay. Okay, that's the second thing. So the one with the approval sheet is what I added into the computer and it says approved 2/14/23.
These were the changes we made last
Okay,
month.
so that's the
Okay.
ones I made last month. So I messed up, and if you look at my calculation for the DTE, I copied what I showed you guys last month. I minused one amount instead of adding it. So now we have to make up the difference of the part I minus, which was 475,
So we just.
and then we need to add the
we have
475.
to make a motion to do a budget adjustment.
What we assumed we were doing last month, pretty much. So, but I showed all my work and apparently
I know.
I added, but I just minus, so it was.
So we have to make another budget adjustment, is that the story?
Yes, we do. Yep, yep. So if you see in the DTE paper, I put error, I ended up minusing that 475. And so it should have been 2841, but we only had budgeted 1891. So it was my fault on that.
So
Thought I
we
would-
have to make a budget adjustment for
Okay,
For how much?
like 1,000.
for 950.
950. Oh, right there.
Yep. So, and I did add the sheet right there too. So 950, and then once again, taking it out of roads. And then that one's all good for the budget. So
So you'll.
I had the right idea to budget ahead for the next street lighting, and apparently I just minused it. So
So
who knows why I did.
I'll make a motion to do a budget adjustment.
So that's one. Do you want to make both of them? Because
Oh,
there's one
another
more.
one? Oh,
Yeah, the
okay.
ZBA, remember?
Oh, right.
Yes, okay. And the other adjustment is ZBA went over budget for their payroll, and it did not flag us, and we have it
Where's that
prompted.
money coming from?
That money's coming for roads too. Yeah, it's not that much. It's only $360, but we never budgeted to pay them right after the meeting. But since we made that change recently, it just wasn't budgeted correctly because we made the change just now to budget them after the organization meeting. So since
And
we
how
did
much is that again?
$360.
That should put
So
us
what's
on
the total then?
back on track. 360 and 950, right?
360 coming out of
So
roads.
Into
1310 is coming out.
Yes. Yep, I have
Oh,
to,
road?
that's for
Yeah.
roads.
Okay.
yep. And then just
$1,310 is coming out of road, and 950 is going to electric. And
Yep.
ZBA is going the other 360.
Yep.
And that's your motion?
And that's
Yep,
it.
that's my motion.
Yeah, and then-
Exactly what I said.
Yeah.
What you said.
Is there a second on that?
I'll second it.
Okay, Duncan,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes.
Christie, yes. Dudek?
Yes.
All right, so we're square here now?
Hopefully. What I see,
Okay, now, let's treasurer report. What do you want to tell us? Anything?
No, I'm gonna settle before the end of the month, so you're not gonna see all that income coming in until next month. So we'll have a huge difference in our budget next month.
Okay, motion to file?
I'll make a motion to file.
I'll support.
Christie, yes. Duncan,
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yeah.
Gary. Check register. Late to the dance, Martha. I don't have any questions.
Well, Okay, good. I have to bring these up. I put on your thing.
I'm gonna have questions then, right?
Yeah, you will. I've been trying to balance this bond, the trust and agency bank account, and I finally figured it out. It's just the transition from one person doing it to another, and two bonds got forfeited twice. I finally figured it out because we went from QuickBooks to BSNA, and I've been going back and back and back, and it got forfeited in QuickBooks by me. It got forfeited now in BSNA. So it's just a matter of putting the money back into trust and agency.
Where are we getting this money from?
It has to come from the general fund because when we forfeit it, we put the money into the general fund. So we just have to take
So
it
it
back.
got forfeited twice.
Yeah. You should
And now you want to put it back where it
put it back
belongs.
where it belongs. And then the other $75, it's 1,000 and then $750. And the other $75 is 3 checks that Phoebe had to stop, but she did call those. Wes, you talked to?
Yeah.
And he said that the general fund has to pay the service charge
Because pretty much we're moving bank interest always to general fund, because we're only, your trusted agency, it's not, general fund actually controls trust and agency. We get all the interest, we get all the service charge and all that. And so for us to try to get down to zero balance, technically it would be negative 75, you know, and we don't make enough interest to offset it. We only get like $3, for interest to even offset it. So he said for us to pay the $75 for the stop checks, because we had to stop 3 different checks.
Oh, okay, stop check fees.
Mhm.
Yes,
I
3
was
different
talking
ones.
interest. You-
Oh, no, I was saying interest, but no, I said she had to pay
Yeah.
$75.
I get, I
Yeah,
understand.
it's what's happened with like within the last 2 years. It's like 3 stop checks. So they would lose their bond check, et cetera.
And the
So-
banks never charged us before.
in the last
No.
year and a half, they've charged.
She could always
All right.
stop it.
So
So I just need.
isn't this a budget adjustment?
Not the
this is
trust,
just-
we don't, it's
This is just a
And the only reason,
shuffle in money.
not the words change. But the only reason I'm bringing this now, is Wes said we have to do it before the end of the fiscal year.
yeah, but then,
So I have
the
to-
bonds would be perfect.
So does this have anything to do with the one that the electric company went out of business and all
No,
that?
that's this
That's
other,
a separate one.
this is
All right.
another one.
So
So
what do
that.
we do here? We gotta
I
vote to
just want
pay
you to-
this, or you're just
I
gonna
just
do
want-
it?
I'm good. I wrote the check, but I want you guys to say,
And it's, so
okay,
this is part of the check
it'll
register.
be part of the check register, but it won't show up
It's
till the
not
next.
on
On here right now.
It's
Right,
not
because I
on
just got it on Monday.
And we
figured
want to do it
yesterday.
within the
It's gonna
fiscal
be our
year.
next month's one.
It'll
yeah.
be on next month's check.
So it's gonna be the
register.
1750 plus the 75.
Up here, that, right up here. It says
1825
Yeah,
out of general fund.
going to trust. and
Going to
agency.
trust an agency.
And then there, so
That's
everything
gonna
that's,
be part of the motion then.
okay,
So it's
everything
gonna
that's in trust and agency is just the money that's being held for
be
construction.
1825 From. To general.
from general to trust.
Oh, yeah.
But on the bright side, Angie balanced all the bonds, are all perfect. So
Yeah.
the whole account is
I've been
perfect
working
now.
on that
So I
forever.
gotta give her props for that.
So it's going to trusted agency
Correct.
from general pool,
Right,
1825 each way.
right.
Okay, that's part of the motion for the
Okay.
whole thing then.
And then.
Let me
another-
hear the rest of your story.
And the rest of the story is Tracy gave me this. There was one permit that was expired. And what it was, that somebody had solar panels put in by Power Home Solar, who went out of business. And then opened up under a new name, and then that one went out of business. So Tracy said we should forfeit the bond because the permit's expired, but it was final. And the final electrical was done on, I wrote that down there, April 7th of 22, but.
So why did this guy never charge us for the reinspection before?
Well, I had Justin look it up, and Justin gave them an invoice last March 10th,
Gave who an invoice?
Power Home Solar.
Okay, but why did not,
I don't know.
no, wait, why did not Bob Osterman charge us for this reinspection?
Because I don't know. I
Did
don't
he?
know.
Did
No,
we
he
go-
did not. I
did we
No.
look back
I
to
looked
make sure?
back, I looked
She
back
did
through
look
March,
back,
April,
yeah.
May, we never got charged for it.
Yeah.
What Tracy wants me to do is forfeit this bond, which is $500, but he wants me to take $75 of that forfeited bond, and put it into the building so that it'll be there to pay the reinspection fee.
And we didn't want to do it without the board,
And
you know,
where's
being
the
a real
rest
board.
go?
That would be
General fund.
forfeited bond.
That 425.
Goes under forfeited bonds and in general.
425 will go into the general
Yep.
fund and 75 will go into building to pay.
All right,
Yep.
so,
Yeah,
so forfeited bond. $100. $425. To general pool. And 75 to building. Correct?
Correct.
you have the permit number?
All right,
No, I don't. I
You
don't have a
permit number?
permit number. This is all he gave me.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's
Permit
here's the
number.
electrical permit.
right
number.
here, permit
Up at the
number.
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
Yeah, PE 21.
PE 21-0112.
But that's not where the 500 is coming from. It's 500 is coming from the bond for the
But it's
building.
related
Yeah,
to
but
that
it's,
permit.
but that's
It's
the one
related.
for
This
the
is the
75,
electrical
It's
permit.
related to
Yeah.
that.
to
permit.
the 75 at least, okay.
All right. Then, any other questions on the check register itself?
Just know that I paid for the Times Herald. Like keeping track of what we're getting, because in the first 10 days, we probably didn't get 7 issues, and I called and talked to them, and they said they would credit us on the next bill for all the missing issues. So he's keeping track, so he can let them know.
Okay. So how many of these are, what,
That
just the
57,
first 4
57, oh, the first 4,
are the electronic?
Yeah.
38 to 40,
41. Yeah, 38 to 41, and checks.
so ELE. Electronic is 38 to 41.
And then 3902 to 3948.
To 39, there's not one on the back page,
No, it's just
and that's for what, 133, 352?
133, 352, 28.
Okay, so this motion is going to be. Welcome, Cooper, halfway through. This is going to be, the motion is going to be something like 1825 to trust and agency from general pool. And then forfeited bond of 500, 425 to general pool, 75 to building. Related to permit number PE 21-0112 and electronic, 4 electronic 38 through 41 and checks 3902 to 3948 for 133, 352, 28. Who wants to make
Okay,
that motion?
I'll make
Wait, what'd you
that.
say? I'm sorry.
I'll make the motion.
1, 2, 3.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Hey, Christie, yes. Dudek,
Yes,
Duncan,
Yes.
Berenger.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance officer report.
Tracy said that he wants to have complaint forms filled out before he'll pursue.
Oh,
immunity.
that's what I want to talk about.
That's what he's got on
That's
here.
what- It does it say it on here?
Yeah, he's got it here. No citizens complaint.
Oh, I know it says that.
Oh, no, he told me the other day when yesterday.
Right, so here's the thing, I've noticed that too, and me and him have discussed this more than once. So the policy that we have currently arose out of the Jeremy Modrich situation where the board didn't want to investigate the issue because it was the ordinance officer that brought the issue. And there was no official complaint. But a lot of times people make complaints, but they don't want to put it in writing because they're afraid of repercussions. So we need to think about, and we need to give him some clarity of what we're doing here. Do we ignore all of them and throw them away because there's not a written complaint on them? Or do we write the complaint as one of us wrote it? Because if we're aware of the situation, and sometimes it's one of us that brings it.
Well, he
It
did
to our
say, he
attention.
did tell me that,
All
because
right.
there's several on my road, but then Brian, the ordinance guy, lives on my road too, so could
Right.
he do that?
Well, but I think that we need to clarify,
I don't know, that's hard because it doesn't, I don't want it to look like we are the ones picking and choosing for one thing.
because we're not normally.
You know,
Normally,
And I know, yeah,
normally
but,
it's a call.
but you don't want them to, people will assume it though.
I
you
get
know.
calls from people all the time that point out an issue to me and want me to look into it. And I always say, well, go fill out a form on it.
Yeah,
And you know, seldom they do.
for court purposes, doesn't matter, because no
I
matter
don't
what,
know.
they're breaking our ordinances, you know, they're breaking our,
Either way, they're breaking the ordinance.
exactly, so
And-
I don't think legally,
And legally, ordinance guys are allowed to go, I mean, scout around the township and find them legally. They do it in other townships, like in Port Huron. I know they have 6 ordinance officers and they split up and each do their own section. And they go on patrols and they write down issues and they follow them up and they issue tickets and they have a whole program of how they do it. I know this guy named George Sheridan that used to work for them. I don't know if he does anymore, but I've talked to him a couple times and he's explained to me how they do it. And so I know that you can, you don't have, you don't have to have a
I think
citizen
he was a
complaint.
speaker at those workshops.
I think it was just to save us that, well, somebody can do us, you know, because they'll be like, well, what about that guy and that guy and that guy, you know, so.
When you fill out that complaint form, even if you fill it out and you put your name on there, Tracy's not gonna say, well, I came to your house
I
because so
know.
and so complained.
But people just don't like to get
Yeah,
that
but he-
involved.
But he doesn't tell them who complained. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we need
And
to ask.
honestly, I think it's really neither here nor there who complained. Really, I mean,
Just a matter of
you know,
taking care of it.
it's not like it's okay to do bad because nobody told on you.
I don't know. That's all hard. I don't know. I understand both sides.
So-
I do too. I guess we should ask Tracy if he knows, like, is there a reason we have to have it other than that's the protocol we set?
That's the
You paid
protocol we set.
Stan Tech
and that's what he
recently?
cites.
Pardon me?
You paid Stan Tech and it didn't notify you that it was over,
No.
because it is. I'm getting kind of irritated now. Well, just to let you know, we are over budget at Park for $300. I don't know why the system doesn't notify, so I just found it, but I mean, I could bring it to the
No,
next meeting.
Because anytime I
it's-
pay a bill, if
that's
it's
what-
over budget.
I don't know why it
It
didn't do it.
flags me and it says, do you want to continue?
So the
Well,
check
you
that
know
we
what?
just
We'll have
approved.
to fix it when we do the final budget.
Okay, I just want to, you know, that's, I just double checked everything and that's
Right,
just
'cause
that
we're
one.
finalizing the budget.
It's only by $300, but
right?
I don't know why it doesn't flag us. That was the whole
Is it
point.
300
And
for the
$44.
For the
Stan Tech.
entire. And we still want
There's
to.
It's
not too
the
much
check that we-
entire there.
It's just the check that we just did, so I don't know.
Unless.
Well, I'll just have to look at it later then.
Okay.
Okay, sorry to change
What do
subject.
you think, Stan?
Isn't there laws to it, the Whistleblower Protection Act, that when citizens turn somebody in, they cannot retaliate?
I'm sure you're probably right, but the thing is, people don't think about that. People think, oh, if I make it, like these people that came
Right.
today, they were a little
Right,
hesitant.
they got intimidated.
Especially when it's your
exactly.
neighbor, you know, because it's like they live right there, you
Yeah.
know. But you
And
don't
I'm
want to be
sure
scared
other
at your own
people-
home,
yeah.
you know, I don't know.
But you shouldn't have to
Ex-
put up with that either.
Exactly. Yep. Nope, I agree.
And most of the I don't know, all of them, but Tracy talked to me about a couple of them and all the ones he talked to me about are legitimate, like. There's a house on my road where the whole barn roof is collapsed in and his thinking is not just it's an eyesore, but he saw two little kids out there playing and he
If
doesn't
it's a
want them to
dangerous,
get.
if it's a dangerous building
That's what he
and we
said.
don't do
He
something
said-
about it, I think we could be held responsible.
He said,
for that.
I just think about what if those two little kids go into that barn?
I think we have a duty to do something about dangerous buildings.
Weren't we gonna make an ordinance about dangerous buildings? Didn't we talk about this a while ago?
Trevor's brought it up, but I thought that he said we had a dangerous building ordinance.
Oh, I guess we need to look back.
I don't know what to say about this. I don't know if, should we like call around to different townships and see like what their process is, you know?
Well,
I don't know. I mean, or we could just say, you know, I don't know.
Because like this one,
See,
no,
the calling around to other townships, I'm not sure what that does. That's almost like going on Facebook and saying, you know, a good painter.
Oh, okay. Well,
Don't you think?
I mean, it's a little bit of a different level, but you know, that goes way extreme, but you know.
I guess we just need to know, you know, procedure. If somebody does write a formal complaint, does that information have to get released to the defendant?
Because I thought that they weren't allowed to take anonymous.
I think we
Complaint.
just said that.
Did
because
we
Bruce
just say
said-
that? Okay.
Bruce said that at one time because he said then if you're mad at somebody, you might just call up and make a complaint and
Exactly,
it might
yeah.
not be legitimate.
Well, the attorney, would he have any backup on like what other townships that he deals with?
I'm sure he
you know?
know what the rules are.
Yeah.
You know,
I
would
can
it,
ask
wouldn't
him.
hurt to ask him just kind of like, hey, you know,
I can ask him because we do need to settle this issue.
Yeah.
Because every time one of them gets brought up, that's the first thing Tracy says to me is.
yeah.
Well, he's got it in here like what, 3 or 4 times.
Well, we did emphasize that before, you know, just because I don't know, whatever situations we had at that time, but,
Well, the situation was, it was the ordinance officer that brought it
that's
up.
probably why.
And it was like,
And then we had
is he
those,
just going out fishing for jobs?
yeah,
Or
and
is people
driving down the
like-
road and on their bike looking at things, you know? Yeah,
All right, well, I'll see what I can find out, but in the next month or so, I think we may need to make a decision. on
because you
this.
are right. What if it's like, yeah, he could have a full-time job if he's looking at every single house and, you know, so
Right,
I don't know.
Okay, so you're gonna just talk to the attorney.
yeah, but we're gonna bring it back up.
Yeah.
I think we need clarification on that.
I think that's a good idea.
So motion to file that report.
I'll make a motion to file the ordinance officer's report.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Assessor report, there was none given, but today was the end of the board of review. And there were no bloodshed. So
Good.
that's good.
Nobody going to the tribunal?
We'll see.
I think there were only 5 or 6 people.
I think Diane handled it. Is that right, Diane?
Handled what?
You handled everybody on board of review?
No, I'm not the chairperson, but I don't think anybody will be going to the tribunal. But I just got in late. I do want to thank you. We enjoyed our Chinese lunch today.
Good. About how many people came to board of review overall?
Pardon?
About how many people came to board of review overall?
I think 9. We had 2 cancellations. And I think
Alright.
there was maybe 9.
All right, well, that's pretty good. I mean, there's been times we've had over 100,
Yeah, wait till next year.
so. All right, thanks, Diane.
Okay.
All right, old business. proposal for scanner services. Tracy was not prepared to come and talk about it tonight. And so he sent me a text and said, not today. So if you guys wanna table it, till further notice, table it at all, or if you thought better of it and you wanna not do it, or you wanna do it, or whatever. You wanna wait for Tracy, you wanna bring it up later, you don't wanna bring it up at all, whatever.
Well, I want to say a couple things. I've been thinking about it. I know he says this about scanning it and, getting rid of them. Well, we have them in the file cabinet in the basement. They're really not taking up any room. We have a lot of empty file cabinets, in fact. And even if we scanned them, I wouldn't feel comfortable pitching them because really I have no harm in them being down there. And I've thought about it. And I think since I've been here, which is quite a few years, I think there's only been twice where we've had to go down there and pull a set of blueprints. One was the house that burned down and one that somebody was putting an addition on. Seems moving forward, if they're doing them all now on, if Justin is having them put them on a flash drive and they put them right onto the BSNA. So anything from here on out is going to be on there. I just don't know if it's worth, what did you figure, $11,000 if it's 2 to 3 years?
But what if there's a fire though? Then it would, but once again, it's not like it's needed, like you said, but it is required to have,
Fireproof cabinets.
I don't think so. No.
That one's, no, I don't think that one is. I mean, that's a cheaper investment in that. And then Phoebe and I discussed about what the scanner is $6,000. And Justin doesn't have a whole lot of work to do because we have very, very little permits coming in now. I mean, it might be something that he could pick away at.
Well, he could be picking away at
A lot of
a
things.
lot of miles.
We know, we understand that. We understand. It's just, it's a lot of money. And that would have to come out of the building department. And right now, I feel like when we check back, we're working into a deficit spending on it.
That's true. It would come out of building
Right.
department. You are right on that. Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Stan?
Yeah, let's table it until he brings it in and does a presentation.
Because I'd like to know, like we talked last month, about how long does it take to unfold it? How long does it take to scan one document? And then he's saying 500 documents in a month. We're not the only people that are getting it done by him. And he said he was going to have Brian's daughter do it. And I'm not going to say I'm 100% sure, but I'm like 90% sure. He told me that that Brian's daughter got accepted to U of M.
That's true.
So if she's going to school, that means she's only got the summer. And Brett's point last month was, we don't let those documents, I can't hand them to a resident because they can't leave the building. We can't then we're gonna let those blueprints leave the building for him to do it, or are they gonna bring the machine here and do it here? Because that's something that we should think about too. What if they take them and they lose them, and we wouldn't know? There's a lot of questions we have, so.
What's the motion?
I'll make a motion that we table it till Tracy makes a presentation.
I'll support.
So do that to table till building official can make a presentation.
Yep.
Berenger was second, right?
Mhm.
All right. Duncan,
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes.
Christie, yes. Carrie. Okay, next, the resurfacing of Palms Road. I just got this letter hot off the presses from Justin Rose. Taking a second look at Palms Road, we feel that along with the repairs of the approach at Rattle Run, it would be appropriate to do 4 large patches along the southbound lane where the existing road is falling apart. The estimated cost for the approach in these patches would be $70,250, adding to the 85 already approved for the local road funding. The chip seal project would end up costing $155,250 as a total. The county match of only $50,000 and the township share would be $105,000. We have to let them know in order for them to move forward, or we're just doing the chip seal that's already been approved. So they need to know before the end of this month too. So we have to decide right now, are we paving it or fixing it and chip sealing it, or are we just chip sealing it?
And then how long should this good,
How-
you know,
You said it should last, to be good for 10 years.
10 more
you said.
years? Okay. I mean, why not then? If you're gonna do it right and get it over with, you know, if people are, if they're gonna be working on it, you know, closing the road or whatever, you know, or.
Yeah, because when we went to that meeting, we asked him about it and he goes, you know what? He goes, we haven't really looked at it. I thought, "Oh."
We'll go look at it.
Yeah. And it's pretty ironic that they agree there's areas that. I'll make a motion that we approve for doing. The total project at $155,250.
So there's 4 of them, 4 large. I'll second the motion. So they would be able to do that this year, correct? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on the books for.
Okay, so I got Dudek to approve full project, $155,250 on Palms Road upgrade from chip seal only. Is there a second, or did we already have?
I gave you something.
Christie, yes. Dudek,
Yes,
Berenger,
Yes.
Duncan.
Yes.
Okay, so, I'm gonna. Oh, you know what? Let's all just sign this. And I'll just send them a copy of this, and that way. If they need to just make a work order, me and Angie can sign it. All right,
What's this resolution here?
no, that's different.
That's
We're
a
gonna talk
different-
about.
That's another thing? Okay, okay.
Your sign here, somewhere on there.
you got it dated or not?
Oh, it says March
Oh, okay.
13th on there, that's close enough. We can write, March 14th, but it's gonna be in the minutes and.
That's on the date, it's a 3, 4, 20, drawing. Okay. Spending all our budget money.
Did you sign?
Yes.
Okay. Good deal. All right. High-tech recommendations and proposals. So, what they got here is I asked them to put prices to the stuff we talked about a month or 2 ago. Remember they gave us their report and they had all those things telling about how our score was way too high. So, this first one, phase 1. The network's security update to the servers and the users. and removing old users and setting up proper password policy. So they're saying it's 2 to 16 hours. I don't understand how it could be such a big wide gap like that, because this is almost all security stuff that they're gonna do from their office probably.
I'm surprised that this isn't already something.
That
was-
isn't
yeah,
included
yeah.
in the thing, because he said some of the things would be included.
Yeah, well,
Cause I know their password policy is very strict too, like you have to change your password like every week, so. So we're like, so we'll all be forgetting our passwords. I know, right?
yeah, they're killing
Lot of exclamation marks.
another.
I know, right?
Oh, I'm putting an asterisk in there now.
I know, right?
Yeah. So I've been kind of disappointed with so far dealing with this Rick Keeley guy. He seems to know what he's talking about. He seems like a good guy and all, but it seems like nothing's covered under the original.
We got the premium pack.
I know.
Yeah, and what he told me.
$500 a month.
And what he told me is, well, that's when first we gotta fix everything and get it all up to snuff. When, because none of that's our fault. You already had this. And so we gotta get everything up to good and then everything maintaining it is covered, which seemed kind of lame to me.
That
but-
does seem like, because when he gave us that spiel, he said, a lot of this is gonna be part of us taking over, we're gonna do these things, a lot of that, even the block of time thing, some of this will, will be covered, you won't have to use your block of time.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit iffy on phase 1. All right, phase 2, the network switch replacement. All right, what we have is a 12-point switch, and it's just, and that's the entrance point and exit point for all data. And he's saying that he wants to put in a managed switch that's 24 port, or because you're obviously going to use more of them as time goes by for more stuff. I mean, even we're going to get more cameras here shortly, but and then there's another piece that he wants to move. It's like an antenna, and he wants to centrally locate it. It's called an access point, that we're move it somewhere in the ceiling so that we'll have better coverage for the internet, because it's way over there and it's getting interference from the other stuff. So
It doesn't show the time block for that one.
no,
That's the $3,370 one,
that's the one,
yeah.
that's 3,300 and something,
Oh, okay, so that's what that is, okay.
okay?
Oh, that's that big one right there, okay.
And so $3,300 for a switch. You know, I'm not a computer guy, but that's some bucks.
Wow.
But he says it's a managed switch, which means that they can remote into it and they can monitor it. Which he says the current one is just there doing whatever it does.
Yeah,
So it can't be managed or monitored.
okay.
All right, number 3, replace this current Cisco firewall going end of life in 24 with this new firewall that they want to do. All right, so he says that to tell the board that the Sophos firewall and VPN is something they deal with, so they know how it works, they know how to use it, they know how to work with it, and the Cisco one that we got is not very old, but he says that they sold us an end of life part. Like he said, they say they make the same thing for 10 years and their 10 years is up. They're still going to sell them if they got them in their stock room. They're still going to sell them to you. They're brand new. They're going to work. So they basically sold us an old part, and that next year it's supposed to go obsolete. So we don't have to do it. It's we can do it, wait a year. We can wait till it quits working.
And he doesn't have a price on that one.
Yes,
Waiting on special pricing.
he's waiting on pricing. Okay, he doesn't have a price on that. The next one is moving the network and the server, which is all that gobbledygook of wires and everything in your room, to a secure cabinet in the basement. And then,
Would that be on the floor in the basement,
no, it would be on
on the wall?
cinder blocks provided by the township.
I have piles of cinder blocks, so maybe that. I'm sure we got, yeah, I know, right?
All I think of is going in that basement and there's a flood.
I told him it floods there. He
Yeah.
said probably you should put it two cinder blocks high, provide your own. So what he's proposing to do there is to run the wires down, the current wires, because there's not a lot of length on them wires. So run them down, and then he would put like a transfer board, a transfer switch board, where all the lines would come into this board. And then the new lines would come out of that board, just by plugging in and go to the equipment. Like, kind of like a phone box on the wall, you know how they have?
Is my room over the crawl space?
Yes. So. And then this one is the one that costs $5,600 and some change.
Wow.
So that's a chunk of change too. So then next is,
Quick question, so would that go with, because it says right there, the levitation 24 port. You see that, that quote? So would that deal with phase 2 also then? Because see it, Leviton 24 port cat 6 patch panel?
no, because it's a patch panel. That's what I was talking.
That's different than the
That's the-
Extreme Network
Yes,
24 port
it's
switch?
different than the switching Ethernet switch.
So it's different from phase 2 then? Okay,
Yes.
so it's another thing, okay.
Yeah, so that's the patch panel that I told you. It's gonna take all the wiring and run it down to a patch panel. And so there'll be this panel with all these wires going into it. And then it'd be like, almost like a switchboard where the
Okay.
wires will come out of it and go to the appropriate places.
Okay, okay.
And I think they have to do the patch panel because,
Oh, because that's right there, yeah.
well, because the wires are not long enough to do what they want to do. And they don't want to run separate wiring to everything again. That would be
Even more money.
costly. It's not like it's not already costly. All right, then the next thing. Updating the security cameras and adding additional cameras outside. I brought up the idea of some cameras at the park. And we can hook cameras at the park. And after we have the light poles there. Where we could put them on light poles and Comcast goes right by there. And so they could put a modem up on a pole for us to make them work, and then it can read from here to there. We could have cameras to see what's going on down at the park. Because if we do any upgrades, we're gonna wanna see if somebody's trashing the place or something. But again, then there's the election box that's gotta go out here too, and that's gonna have 3 to 6 cameras on it. And our current camera system is full. It's got as many as it
Yeah,
holds.
I remember that.
So either way, we're either gonna have to have 2 camera systems, or we're gonna have to upgrade our camera system to get one that does a lot of cameras.
And they're talking
Again, no
about,
prices for that.
yeah, and they're talking about updating that, and then they're going to be our security also, correct?
Yes, but when we talked about that, it got kind of elaborate because they don't do the monitoring like this thing right here. Like we have on the wall, but they have a different kind of thing where they have locks that will do key cards or push buttons. And they're wired right directly to them through the internet. So that they can monitor that and they can tell who's getting in and who's not. And they can send a code for you if you don't have one and you can identify yourself and that. and they can instantly add or delete a person. But they're talking about changing locks and stuff to do that. So here again, no prices for that yet. And then replacement for the phone system. He says that our phone system and this system that we have here could all be put together in a bundle at a better price, and I don't know, if the service would be any different or what. But that's something he said he'll look into and get us some price later. And then he wants to establish a schedule for computers and servers and other equipment, and they can do that already with no charge.
How kind.
So that's
It's a
where,
good budget for it, I guess, you know.
so that's where we're at, but we would definitely have to figure out what we want to do in what order, and then make sure we got money budgeted for it.
Oh, joy.
It looks like a lot.
It does look like.
I'll bet you 20 grand,
Oh, it sure
Oh,
looks like a lot,
easily.
don't it?
20,
This,
25.
yeah,
But on
So-
the other hand, IT right was doing like nothing, it seemed, just barely like putting Band-Aids on stuff,
They were putting Band-Aids on stuff,
Exactly.
and they were selling us inferior.
And we had no idea what we're
It's
doing,
just like-
we
it's
don't know
just
this
like when
stuff.
They did that one replacement part and it lasted us like 2 months, and when I called and complained and they brought another one out, they charged us a second time, and I tried to fight with them
I know,
and they absolutely would
Because
not.
really, we haven't paid a lot of money lately for our technology, we haven't done anything really that
Right.
what
Well,
have
we're
we
gonna have-
done,
we're going to have to do some of it. for sure.
Exactly, yeah, so I mean,
And-
really, you gotta think we have not spent much money lately,
Because, and security's getting harder and harder because there's more technology going on.
yeah.
So is that just?
But so I guess I'm just showing it for now, and hopefully we can come back to this with,
How long are these quotes good too? Cause I mean,
he didn't say.
I don't know, I'd be like, oh, look, went up next
So
month.
this is an FYI, and we'll make up our minds.
Yeah, because I don't expect anybody to just already pick out and say, let's get
Yeah.
this and this and this. Plus, he's still got some work to do on getting prices.
I like to have Brett run, he's the tech guy that, I'm not a computer guy.
Me neither. Me neither.
Are we getting bamboozled by this? I don't.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah,
But we don't ever know
But like,
unless we're.
but I mean, yeah, unless you work in that
Yeah.
business,
You know,
but just like IT right. On my new computer. They gave me Windows 10 when we know Windows 11's out, no touch screen, but it could have been. And it's because they just picked what they want.
well,
you to
I
have.
think it's just what happens with big companies. You don't get the individual, care as much and hopefully, they care more. and
I think they
Hopefully,
just,
IT right's gonna be worse yet, because they sold out to that bigger company.
right. So we looked it over. We're waiting on some more pricing, and I sure would like Brett's input too. So that's that. Now, outdated office equipment. I want to maybe throw this stuff out.
I think it's a good idea. We talked about having IT right take them, and they never did. Did High Tech say they would take these away?
Mike was thinking, why don't we put some stuff out if people want it for free too? I mean, like mouses and keyboards and, like at least like the basic
Yeah,
stuff,
some of that stuff we could put up, but the hard drive.
Yeah, not like the.
We gotta mash those.
Yes,
We gotta destroy them. We gotta have to call Hillary
Even
and
the,
get them whacked.
I would say even the printers, because some of those have memory.
Bleach, right?
Yeah, we need, the laptops have gotta be bleached for sure.
So I mean, but some of it, we could have a box and say free,
Yep.
and just,
But I want board approval to get rid of that stuff. So that we'll have record
I
of.
wonder if there's some kind of place that,
There are recycling places. We would just.
Well, if we donate it to a needy organization at the county or something.
Like, who?
Oh, I don't know, the way they,
for technology stuff.
Or
I don't
the-
know.
the homes they have for the kids or
All
whatever.
right, well, we could have Mike make some calls, and if we're agreeing to dispose of it, then he can
Yeah.
just be in charge of disposing of it. Cause he,
Typewriters,
Yeah, yes.
Greenfield Village.
Hey, it's a learning experience for young people. I would just say that the hard drives and the printers would probably need to be destroyed because the
And
printers do
laptops.
have memory. And the rest of them, the fax machines, I know there's nothing wrong. Pat thought they were dead, but the one I know wasn't, but does anybody use them anymore?
roll.
Yeah. Paper folder, Phoebe was throwing that through the window because it jammed everything up, so we know that's bad.
So. Does anybody want to make a motion, or do we want to?
So we'll make a motion to. I'll make a
Dispose of
motion
correctly,
to
pretty much.
dispose of the old equipment. Destroy the printers and the hard drives.
That goes without saying, doesn't it, Mike? Or, I mean, I trust that you would
Just
do it
dispose
properly.
correctly, yeah.
So we're gonna say to have Mike dispose of properly. Can we say that?
Yeah, because there's laptops too.
Yeah, I'll
Oh,
say,
yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah, so,
laptops.
yeah, there's other things.
Excuse me, do you want me to see, I mean, those laptops can be erased, correct?
Yes.
There may be a school or somebody that might want those. You want me to see what's,
Or
One of them- one
some
of them is-
needy thing.
One is fried, one is completely destroyed.
well, then if they're fried, let's just, well. Take
Right.
care, get rid
Because
of
I,
Whatever you want, but don't make like too much work to kind of,
No,
refurbish this thing, so obviously, whatever works, whatever you.
I mean, if they're willing to take it and do the erase.
But what if like a tech program wants to work on old computers or something, I don't know.
but the thing is, I don't feel comfortable.
Is that what you're saying?
Huh?
The hard drives, just.
Wipe them.
You have to destroy them. But I don't feel comfortable putting the laptop and having them wipe them clean because there's no guarantee they will wipe them clean.
You're saying
No,
high tech?
No,
But I
no,
mean-
he's saying give it to a school and let
No,
them.
but Mike could turn it on and set it back to factory, couldn't you?
I don't know.
I think you should talk to high tech
Yeah,
too,
I do.
just to make sure what
But
they
you can make some
recommend.
calls and
Yeah.
deal with the
Yeah.
situation.
But these other things, yeah.
I can call them and see what's erasable, what's not erasable.
Yeah.
what's fixable,
All right,
what's not
and what,
fixable,
and what the recommendation is.
Go from there.
All right,
Whatever you guys want, that doesn't matter to me.
all right. Christie, yes. Duncan.
Who did the support?
Berenger to have Mike dispose of properly the equipment.
Have
And
office.
second do that.
Oh, stand up, okay.
All right, so Duncan,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes.
Dudek,
yes,
road commission meeting. So I got a lot of paperwork here on the road commission meeting. Let's look. The first one is our match money for the next year. That's probably an important one you want to keep an eye on. I want to flip right to. You got all the maps of all the stuff they did last year or stuff they're planning on doing. That's just look at it when you feel like. But we want to look at 2023 bridge and large culvert suggested near-term replacements. All right, so we got the Palms Road over the Holland Drain. That's
Okay,
a
let's just look.
$62,000 one, guessing, 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
Coggill Road over Shriver Drain, that's 2 to 4 years left, $74,000. Big Hand Road over Chartier, $59,000. Thinking of our next year budget. We might want to pick one of these out. I'm thinking the lowest price one, if we're gonna pick one. We don't have to do it right now. All right, but these are something to keep on our head. We gotta keep up with these. But we might want to think about that and then. Like maybe the following year, we do it for our local road funding on another one. And then the following year, we do another one for local road funding.
So are you saying one of these in the 23-24 budget?
Maybe. That's something to think about.
Okay, because we are doing the Palm Road, that's a,
I
Yeah,
know
but
that.
it's
And,
the first, it's
so-
the dirt part
all
itself.
right, so then,
I'm not saying that, I'm saying the
Oh,
cost.
oh,
No, I'm saying
okay.
the cost.
yeah, well, we're
Yeah.
gonna have a lot to spend already, so we gotta be careful. Because here's another one, but this one's not coming this year. All right, now the next one's 2023 bridge and large culvert suggested. All right, this one is the Palms Road over Rattle Run Creek. And says here estimated cost is $1.2 million,
Yes.
but on our resolution. It's showing that it's $1.8 million. Or is it even showing on
No,
here?
it doesn't say anything.
Doesn't show on here. All right, so
Says our portion will be 20,000.
where does it say that? Oh, on this sheet.
Because it's eligible for federal funding. Next federal funding cycle is 26, with the application needed to be submitted by the end of March of 23. So we would have to vote on this right now for them to apply for the funding.
Which is the, yeah,
Yeah, that's what you're right, Phoebe, that's
Yeah.
what this is.
wow. That's so
Yeah,
much
if we only pay
money.
20,000, that's great, but
So it's
Oh,
gonna
so
be like
it's that-
30, it's
it's
gonna be like
that dip?
35,000.
It's that dip right to the left of Palms, to the east of Palms.
It's
You know how you go through, it's right by the log.
before the church.
Okay. Over a route, okay. I thought we just replaced something there. No, maybe I'm wrong.
It's 820 feet north of the Kendall Road.
I thought that's the thing that washed out, and people drove in it, or is that something else? Remember when the road,
There was
Yeah.
a culvert that got replaced.
what-
Yeah.
or are you thinking that was over by the greenhouses when they washed?
no,
out?
there was something.
No,
on
no,
Palm
she's
Road.
right. She's right.
I remember cars drove in it, yeah. I was like, "Ooh," yeah,
It was
everybody talked about it.
No, we didn't.
I know, right?
It was about 14 years ago.
Okay, is that what I'm thinking about? Yeah, okay.
And it was on Palms Road.
And it was like right there, yeah, I
But-
thought, but maybe
I think that's not it. I think it's another one.
another one, okay,
Closer to Rattle Run.
okay.
Well, I guess it.
But we need to let them know. I wish it,
We have to decide right now.
yes, must be submitted by the end of March.
Well,
of
we really don't
23.
have a choice. If
No,
this is
we
something that
honestly
we
don't,
have.
because
So
next cycle is 26.
I thought, I should have printed the whole email instead of just the resolution. But in there, I think he said that our cost, the whole thing was gonna be like $1.8 million.
Okay,
And our cost was gonna be like 35,000.
either way, that's way better, that's,
Then a million.
that's comparable, we can make that work,
But so that's the one that's attached to the.
Okay.
To the resolution,
okay.
So,
So do you want us to do this right now?
yes.
Just kind of get this over with?
okay,
Okay,
I'll make a motion to pass resolution 3/123. Request funds for the bridge replacement.
Would there be a second? on that?
I'll second.
And so. This is just gonna have them apply for it and then we'll get all the particulars, because this is for the year of 26.
All right,
So,
do we need to fill this out right now and
Yep.
have them sign it and then you can
Yep.
send it to them?
yep, so,
You want me to fill mine out, but then I'll just have to make a copy to put in my packet, or do you have an extra copy there?
I'm just writing on the one I got.
Okay,
We're all gonna sign it, I think. So, so this is 3/1/23. And it's Berger. Udek. Okay, Christie, yes. Duncan,
yes.
Udek,
Yes,
Berger,
yes,
Okay. Everybody signed.
Can't believe it's that expensive. I just can't get over that right now.
Well, because this one's the actual bridge.
That means 6 months.
Just trying to imagine. I don't know why. I'm
Not being able to drive that way.
Yeah, well, everybody, at least
it's gonna be
everybody can
another-
go.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be another one like the,
they'll have to go to Kendall and,
Bell River one.
yeah.
Be cutting across that field across the street from me. Sign here, miss. You gotta sign twice, Angie.
I need a copy of that too before, so I can put it in my book.
Yep. I gave you guys both pages, right?
There, I was holding 2 pages when I passed it, yes. Isn't there 2 pages right there, Angie? There isn't? I thought that was, oh, right here. This was connected to it then.
Did you sign at the bottom too?
I did.
Okay, so. Yeah, this is a 27-foot span.
Okay,
That's a pretty wide.
yeah, I don't know why I can't picture it.
And then, you know, they do like 50 feet each side of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that carried. I'll send you some copies of the couple.
Yeah, because I keep copies of the resolution.
So the rest of this is just information from the meeting that you might want to have on you, like the bridge posting maps shows the ones that are posted in our township are just these 2. So there's the one by Kendall that we're doing. And this one over here is already getting done on Ballman Road this year. Right, Ballman and Mescal.
Yeah, I saw the survey state, they've already surveyed it.
And then there's one here showing all the ones in Columbus.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And then the next one's all the cross culverts in Columbus.
Oh, that's what that, okay. Okay.
And then the blue, well, it's not blue, I mean, it's just. But the next whole thing is the packet that they showed us from at the meeting.
Okay, okay.
So just, you know. For you to look through and see what got done and what's getting done next year and all that. All right, new business. Time to vote on budget. Does anybody want to motion it or what?
Need to approve it or to?
Not to approve.
I have one question. I think the streetlights might be too low. Because the last streetlight bill I paid was $459. In this check register.
Yep, that's why I budgeted 475 for, it. But yeah, you were right, because they're gonna go up.
They're gonna go up because we're gonna put those lights at the park. I know.
But
they're
is
supposed
the
to go-
park gonna be park though?
Yes,
It's gonna be part of streetlights though, unless you,
Would it?
you make another.
I don't know. How do we get billed?
We get billed streetlights.
see, we
that's
don't
it.
know yet how it's going to be, do we?
I know it's supposed to be cheaper because we're gonna be going to LED,
Yes.
but how much cheaper, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you gotta counteract with 8 new lights at the park.
Yeah. yeah.
But they bill us one bill for all the streetlights in the
Exactly.
township. So there's no way we
We
can.
may
break
need
it
to
into
kind of look into that once we get our bill and kind of,
See, I thought we'd go down the line and decide.
once it, yeah, because it's kind of hard to foretell that
Yeah.
then.
Because
Because
when you
really
make
park
changes
should,
like this, just like we made change with the building department, we don't know how that's gonna turn out, but we know we're gonna have to look at it.
Yeah.
So we just wanna leave it
Yeah.
like this,
And then
then
this,
if
we don't know how it's gonna
Yeah.
turn out,
Yeah.
or, I mean, it might be midsummer before the lights even get put in.
that's a
Well, we
good
know.
point. That's a
Yeah,
good
that's
point.
true. They're too busy right now with all the other issues they're having.
Right, and if we have a rough
Yeah.
spring, they're not gonna be nothing
Right.
around with that.
Right, okay, so that.
They
was
can't
my-
drive on the park right now, it's too soft. So they have to
Mm.
wait till the ground's hard now.
Well, that was my only,
That was a good point though.
so I'll make a motion to approve And we know that if I'm probably gonna have to have a budget adjustment for elections when that happens. Because so far, I talked to the county again and they're not doing anything.
We gotta start with something, you know, so that's I'll second the motion.
Berenger,
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes,
Duncan,
Yes.
Christie, yes. All right, liquor control.
Cool. And I'll send it, I'll bring a copy to the next meeting.
Yep.
Of
you'll
the
give
approved one.
the
Yep,
ending
it'll just
budget.
go to the next
You'll do the ending one and the new one.
and the new one. Yep.
Okay, so I think that we checked employee or public officer on the government payroll.
Yes,
And
yes.
then you fill out the rest of it, right?
Yeah, we just wanted to bring it to you guys, because before we were thinking of not doing liquor, because you know, we weren't having anybody do it, you know, forever, blah, 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 and this was our time for actually renewal, so,
Okay.
we figured we'd bring it to,
So
you know, if there's anything.
do we need to vote to renew or what? Or just what?
You want us to?
Sure.
right, make a
Because you guys are aware of it, that's all I really care.
Renewing the liquor control. What do we call that?
That we are going
certificate
to,
of compliance.
Liquor control. Yeah.
Certificate
Approve
of-
the okay.
yep, and I can fill it out and I'll send it out for.
Anybody support?
And then when you got a,
Did Stan second? Did
I don't
you
know,
second
did you
it, Stan?
support?
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
second.
you did? Okay, sorry.
And when what?
when you have a finished one, maybe email me a copy of it.
I will. You want a copy too, Angie?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, Dudek,
Yes,
Christie, yes, Duncan,
Yeah.
Berenger,
Yes.
all right, carried. All right, CD rates.
Okay, so first one, North Star, that one is expiring very soon. So this one, I think we only did a year last time, you know, we didn't do that long. So, but this is the current rates that they have. Yeah, they only go to, 52 weeks anyways, so. But yeah, that's for our North Star CD. And we do have over 250,000, because we were getting quite a bit of money. We were getting I think the highest saw was 150 a month. We were getting for interest, so we went over 250,000. I don't know if you guys want to take a few thousand out and put it somewhere else, or if you guys just want to leave it and not worry about it and to worry about it next time, just because we're not insured by $1,000, so it's whatever you.
I would like you to look for some more places to put it, because with bank rates, with the banks failing, I'm getting a little
Yeah.
shaky.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so
I
how
would
much,
hate to just lose it.
That bank that failed, I forget how much of that wasn't insured.
I know, and did you see how many banks that they're connected to that
Yeah, I
they're
know.
gonna cause to fail?
Yeah, I
That
know.
was
There's
the-
only one, I think, in Michigan, that I did look through,
Right,
but still, yeah.
hold on, let me see if I can put it, where's my balance sheet?
but one.
All right, here we go.
yeah,
So-
the diversity is good thing.
If there's other places.
We have Freestar, we only have 109 in Freestar, and that's a money market.
We should probably put some more in there.
So we
But
could
we
put,
got way too much in general, right?
We do.
so we could grab some from general
So we
too
need
if you
to,
want.
I think we need to,
So.
You want to make it like a 225,000,
yeah, you can bump it up like that high.
But-
because then there's
How much of that ARPA money is in that general fund?
190? What did, I gave you the balance.
196.
So we
Okay.
have to use that this fiscal year too, right? So we can,
We don't have to use it, but we could, we just have to, it's nice to get it over with, then we don't. have to-
no, we don't
Or-
It
have
has to be planned out by 24.
Okay.
and Spent by 26. is
Okay,
my
yeah, we have a few time
understanding.
to,
Oh, okay, I thought you only had a 2-year window with it.
no, you have a,
But you have to have it spoken for by then.
okay, see, did Wes ever? I don't know, they never, well, we
They-
haven't had to file yet, right? I don't know, they've never
Well,
gotten
he's
hold
been
of.
filing. He called me a month or so ago and asked me, did I want him to file? And I told him, yeah.
Cause I told him to call you, but I haven't seen anything. I don't know when the next due date is, though. I haven't seen anything on
I think it's
MTA.
every April.
Is it April? Okay, cause I haven't seen anything on
Last year
MTA. That's, I'm like,
was-
usually MTA will let everybody know.
It was
"Yeah,
April
that's fine."
last year.
Okay, so that's probably why he'll get a hold of these two then. Okay.
So what do you wanna do with this North Star? Wanna take some of the money out, like take,
We could take like 10,000 out.
Well, then you're
no,
still.
you're still over 250.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at another thing. I mean, we could take 20,000 out, because then we have like 9,000 to,
I think that would,
And then how long would that last? How long would it take?
Yeah, because if you're getting that,
we're getting like, well,
you get
before.
that kind of interest, what would it
We
be?
were getting like 150, that was like 148 was what I kind of saw as
Per
the
month.
highest per month with this account.
so that would take a while, so that would be fine.
And we're only doing it for a year,
Alright, so if you took 20 away from this one.
so
Okay.
20,000
and put
away
that
from
in
North
there.
Star, okay?
20,000 from North Star, you're gonna put it where?
In Free Star, that's a money market. All right,
And then,
otherwise, I'm just gonna need to shop around. Unless, but the rest, that's the only bank we can work with is Free Star. Everybody else, we have, fairly too much money in it.
There's no other banks?
No, like for the ones we have right now. You know.
No, but
Yeah,
we
so
need
you have
to
to
maybe
find a
get a couple of new ones.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
so you're taking 20,000 out of North Star, that'll
Put
give
it
you
Free
what,
Star.
120 in that Free Star?
Free Star would be about 130. There's 109 in there right now.
So do you think, how much do we have in the general fund that we should take some out of there? Like you
Right
said?
now, we have 843.
See, so
594.
you could take 100 from general
Yeah.
Okay,
and put in Free Star too.
okay. So then that would be 230. Okay. And then I can shop around and we can see if we want to open up another account with some more money then. Cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 100,000 from general.
From
Yeah.
general fund, and then to put this all into Free Star. Okay,
And then.
I know I haven't
we
gone to
do-
Memphis for a
we could do
while.
1 year on this, I guess.
Okay, I'll make
Yeah.
a motion that we do a 1-year renewal
And then just a minus
Yeah.
20,000 from that amount,
Oh.
so.
for,
I don't know if it may be a little different, but that's what the
Yeah.
current amount, and then maybe a little bit more interest on it, I'm not too,
1 year. At at approximately 385, do we have to put that?
This one is good,
Oh, okay.
because she told me I cannot give you the amount till Monday, but then the treasurer gave it to her early,
Okay.
this one's a little different, the
So 1
CDRs
year
are.
At 3.85%. Or 241,860
Or
approximately.
approximately, yeah, for that, I don't know if there's gonna be a little interest on it.
So the interest is gonna keep going up this year, so,
Well, we have
I mean, how much difference? is
this
it?
one, yeah, I'm just saying, like, this isn't the exact amount right here, possibly, so.
Yeah.
This is what I had on record, so, but yeah, so for that one, okay, so you made the motion, Angie, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know if they supported.
I'll second the motion,
It's
it's a money market, yep,
that's a credit union.
yep. We moved it to a money market, I don't know, like a year ago or something.
Okay, Duncan,
Yes,
Dudek,
Yeah,
Christie, yes, Berenger.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, the Genesis one.
well, the Genesis one doesn't approve or doesn't expire, but our meeting doesn't go within that 10-day grace period. So this is the approximate, rates that they have right now. So it may change because I have to wait a couple weeks to move it. So just because it expires on the 26th. So
I had 61 months, the same as 7 months.
this is what they told me and I'm like, okay, so I printed up where I can put it.
they're projecting a presidential change.
Yeah,
Oh,
see, on this one, I'd only go with the 1 year or two.
the
Like
19 months?
13 months.
So 13 months? Okay.
Okay,
Don't you think?
Yeah, because if it goes up again in a year from now, you can capitalize on it. If you go long-term right now, you can't capitalize
Yeah,
and rates keep going up, which
Yeah, we've been doing pretty good.
I would go with the 13 month.
13 months, okay.
13 months, or 35%.
And just know it's approximately, you know, so,
Approximately that percent and approximately that figure.
yes.
Okay, and approximately.
That's the amount that they had on the notice, and that's what I had on my computer, but you know, once again, the interest as of that date, you
So
know.
whose motion is this gonna be?
Did you make the motion?
No,
Angie?
I just.
Oh, you did, oh, okay,
First was saying.
okay.
You're making it then?
I can make it.
You're coerced to
Just-
do it.
Yeah, yeah. And then.
Second.
I'll second.
All right, Christie, yes, Berenger,
Yes.
Beck,
Yes,
Duncan,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, because you don't want to lock in anything for too long right now.
Thanks.
All right, and then the Stafford landscaping one for grass cutting this year. I did talk to Cottington. He's not interested in doing any other cutting.
Oh, the one that.
Said he doesn't have enough personnel to take on any more work.
Okay.
So we're doing this one.
And then,
So cemeteries every other week.
Cemetery was every week until like August is what we did last year. And then it was every other week.
August, really?
no, I thought it was like 1st of July or something.
I could pull the old contract up.
Yeah, because if July is dry. You wouldn't need it, I don't think.
They're
Weekly.
actually pretty good about the cemetery, not overcutting the cemetery, not
well,
like.
because it's a tedious job.
Yeah, not like the guy before who cut it all the time, even when it didn't need it.
Like, whoo, a lot of work. And does this have the Gratiot Park, with like the,
Then is this the price for the new?
you know, like, did they,
Haven't t- they
Oh,
haven't
yeah,
talked.
170, yeah. The park is 170.
how much was it? Oh, it was quite cheap before, you know, yeah, okay, so they did. look
All right,
at that.
bush hogging,
If we call them, right?
Oh, 130s? Oh, per hour, okay.
on will call basis only.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And apparently, Bruce, when you sign this and send it to them, say, please send back a signed copy, because it took me like 3 phone calls to get that girl to send me back a signed copy.
Yeah, so we're just gonna have to see what we get for 170 at the park.
It's kind of,
And then
Yeah,
go from there.
because who knows how it's gonna grow and
Yeah.
what's gonna grow.
We might have to send Matt out with a weed eater.
well, I don't know how else you could really do it along the path, because if you go with a lawn tractor, you're gonna chew up the mulch. Am I right?
Well, you're not gonna cut on.
Right, but you don't, have you ever watched those guys? They're on a mission to get done as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I don't know if they'd lift the deck a little bit to keep from blowing the mulch around.
Yeah,
Well, we're gonna have to keep an eye on it.
yeah,
Cause we don't wanna let it get overgrown.
no, for sure. There were 3.
So
cars.
cemetery, every week till July, every other week till October. Township hall, that's normal. The Gratiot Park, I guess we'll just have to see what we get for that. The west side, a monthly cut. And then bush hogging on a will call only. So, that's just it, right?
Mhm.
I'll make a motion to approve the Stafford landscaping contract with the changes that we made.
I just wrote to approve with instructions. Is that
Sure.
okay? There a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Christie, yes. Berenger.
Yes.
Duncan,
Yes.
Hudak,
Yes,
Gary. Anything else we need to discuss?
Um, One little question, I saw this contract, are we gonna bring the Superior? That contract?
Oh, Superior.
Yeah, I wish I had time, cause we talked to them, right? And they said that, so what I tell you first, July?
Did Mike call him?
July.
I can't
No, I
remember.
called him.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, you said it starts July. first.
Yeah. So,
I don't know why it said September on there.
no, I don't either,
I-
but
They, I looked back and they bring it at different times, different years.
yeah, I don't know. I called her
Oh,
and
yeah.
asked her, and she said the
Never
reason
paid
she
me.
did that was that everybody's working on their budget right now, and she just thought that way that we would have it for our budget. I lost it back into my-
So here's my question on that.
Mhm.
Are they worth that money? I mean. They come twice a year and just look at it, right? What do they do?
A little while.
What do they do?
They do
They clean it,
whatever the maintenance is that they do,
they'll clean, they're down there cleaning.
yeah, they're in my room for quite a while, like at least a half an hour, I know
Didn't
that.
they work on the air conditioning unit out there too? Like they must have cleaned it out or something. They're here. They don't just come in and pop
Yeah.
out, so.
Yeah, they definitely take it all apart. I know they took the one in my room all apart. I mean, I don't know what they specifically do, but
I heard even spider webs getting them air conditioning units and then they don't function properly, so. If they do clean all them bins out and make sure that it's getting adequate airflow, it's probably worth it because. You burn one of them AC units out. Kiss about $4,000 goodbye, probably.
I'm surprised we don't put a cover on it. Do they put a cover on it? Is there a cover on it? For the AC unit? Really? 'Cause I have one over mine,
I
you
cover
know?
mine up.
Yeah. You
It
know?
would be a bad idea to buy one.
Yeah, I'm
Put it
surprised they
on
wouldn't have
the-
recommended that. That's kind of odd. Cause it's,
All feet slipping.
is this yours or is this mine?
You left it for me, but I already had.
You already had one? Okay. All right, I'll just take it something.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll support. Gee, what happened?
I know, right?
Usually no one can say it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? See y'all later. See you, Martha, Diane. Good having you guys.
So, yeah, no.